Good evening and welcome to everyone, and thank you to all of those who organized it, to our sponsors, to my friend Minister Akunis. I can say that Prime Minister Netanyahu conveys his regrets that he's unable to attend tonight's event, and I know that he regrets not being able to be here tonight because it was almost exactly 2 years ago that the Prime Minister and I had dinner with one of the leading executives from one of the leading automobile companies in the world. And Prime Minister Netanyahu asked him then, what's the breakdown between hardware and software in the current automobile, and what is the expectation for the future? Now, this very senior executive said, well, today, the car, an automobile, is 90% hardware, the steel, the steering wheel, the tires, and 10% software. That would be the dashboard. But in the future, and I'm already thinking to myself, well, in the future, it's probably going to be 70-30, 60-40, 50-50. This executive said, in the future, it's going to be 90-10 in the other direction. The automobile of the future is going to be 90% software and 10% hardware. That plays to the strengths of Israel. We know what we're good at, and we're beginning to learn what we're not good at. To replicate a car industry that was very similar to the car industry all over the world, we tried to do that a number of years ago. It was a susita, for those Israelis in the audience. It didn't work out that well. But in the car industry of the future, which is based on the global forces that the Prime Minister laid out earlier, on connectivity, generating big data, married to artificial intelligence, all of a sudden you have the automobile industry of the future, and these global forces actually play to Israel's sweet spot. Now, I have to let you in on a little secret. These global forces of connectivity, big data, and artificial intelligence are not influencing just the automobile industry. They're heavily influencing the global economy. And I think that's one of the reasons that you've seen incredible progress over the last number of years by countries all over the world looking to forge alliances with Israel, because they understand that the engine of growth for the future is driven by things that Israel happens to be very, very good at. And we're really seeing a real change in the world, and that change is for the better. Now, I opened up by saying that we're at 90% hardware, 10% software, but that'll switch. I don't anticipate that just because 90% of the future industry is going to be software, that 90% of global investments will be in software. But we have representatives at this conference from 30 countries around the world, and I implore you, if you can do that 90-10 breakdown, but just make 10% of your global investment in Israel, I assure you that your companies will be for the better, your investment firms will be for the better, and Israel will be for the better as well. I wish you all a great evening and a great conference.